Hey, what's up everyone? How's everybody doing? How you holding up? Everybody staying safe, staying healthy, keeping yourselves occupied? Well, that's part of why I'm here today. I thought that since so many of us are now self-quarantined or actually quarantined, that many of you may benefit from me sharing my top 10 favorite rock docs of all time. So you have something to watch for entertainment after you've gone back and binged watched all of the old head content. There's a lot there, so dig in. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this way in the future, remember that whole coronavirus thing? How did that turn out? So today's video is entitled My Top 10 Favorite Rock Docs, or Shit You Can Watch While You're Quarantined. Now, I'm not going to be doing these in any kind of order because I narrowed it down to 10, but then I just couldn't come up with an order that made any sort of sense, so let's just dive in. First up, the 1988 film The Decline of Western Civilization, Part 2, The Metal Years. This is a fabulous, funny, entertaining, kind of sad movie about the LA metal scene in the 80s. If you haven't seen it, it's a fucking classic. It's sometimes like watching a car wreck. Other times it's just a nice little window into this period of music that probably will never come around again, but a highly enjoyable movie. You can find The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, on iTunes for rental or purchase, probably on Amazon too. But also, all of these things that I'm talking about, you can probably just go onto Amazon and order a DVD or Blu-ray copy, because as far as I know, they're still delivering shit. Next up is the 2007 documentary Running Down a Dream, all about the life and career of Mr. Tom Petty. This motherfucker is 4 hours long, but it's never fucking boring. It's just a great career-spanning documentary that goes into great detail and really shines a light on how amazing of a performer, of an artist, of a songwriter, of a human being Mr. Tom Petty was. I'm already a huge fan, but I became an even bigger fan after watching this movie, so maybe you will too. You can watch Running Down a Dream on Amazon Prime. Used to be on Netflix, but you know how that shit goes. But that's the only one I know of for sure. Up next, we have the 1999 documentary Instrument, all about the band Fugazi. Now, I use the term documentary for this one kind of loosely because, sure, it is documentary footage and it does span different parts of their career up until a certain point, but it's kind of put together in an interesting way where it doesn't necessarily have like a narrative, but it definitely gets home the importance of Fugazi. They're a very important band to me when it comes to interplay between band members and my guitar style. It does come a lot from that area of music. Just getting to see the footage of these guys playing together and how they played off of each other and how fucking amazing they were at making this music that pretty much didn't sound like anything else. It's just a great fucking documentary, and I highly recommend it. That one, you can rent it on YouTube, on Google Play, on iTunes, on FlixFling, whatever that is. But yeah, go out there and get it. Instrument. Now let's talk about the 2000 documentary, The Filth and the Fury, all about the short-lived career of the Sex Pistols. This movie is really well done. It's directed by Julian Temple, who also did the great Rock and Roll Swindle movie and uses footage from that. But it's just a great sort of collage of everything happening at the time, and it's very sort of chaotically edited. It kind of just gives you the feel of the ride that the Sex Pistols were going on. And that whole time period, the really brief existence of the Sex Pistols, I think is really important to music. And I think that Nevermind the Bollocks is one of the best albums ever recorded. So it's really cool. It gives you a really good insight into actually how everything happened. So great documentary. You can find that one on YouTube, on Google Play, on iTunes, on Fandango now. I've never used that. And Vudu. So yeah, go out there and watch The Filth and the Fury. Up next is the 2008 documentary Centuries of Torment, all about the first 20 years of the band Cannibal Corpse. And it's another long one. It's 3 hours long, But this is one of those documentaries that I wish they did this kind of documentary for every band that I love, because not only does it talk about the origin of the band and how they got together, even detailing the bands they were in before, but it goes album by album and gives you footage and information on everything that happened up until 2008. And so it's just, if you're a music nerd, it is just so much fun to watch. Unfortunately, this one, all I know is that it's posted on YouTube. Somebody actually put the whole fucking thing up there. Other than that, I'm not sure where it's available. Once again, just order yourself a copy. Now let's move on to the 2006 documentary Get Thrashed. Clearly, this one was going to end up on my list because it is all about thrash metal and all the different bands from the beginning of thrash metal up through like the 90s. They start going into like where thrash led. That's where it tapers off a little bit for me, but it's another one of those nerdy documentaries because it does have, it sections off the different regions of the bands and talks a little bit about each of the really important bands in thrash metal. It's probably the most amateurish documentary on my list, but doesn't fucking matter. Can you find a better thrash metal documentary out there? There isn't one. I actually bought my copy off of iTunes, but I didn't see it there anymore to purchase. But I do believe it's on Amazon Prime or Amazon. So yeah, Get Thrashed. Highly recommended. And now we move on to the 2010 documentary Rush, Beyond the Lighted Stage. Rush is one of my favorite bands. This is just such a well done documentary. Yeah, it's so good. Rush is such a great band. This is just, if you don't know a lot about Rush, this is the place to start. And I'm pretty sure that watching this will make you go and give some of their albums a really good chance. And who knows, you yourself might become a fan. But I love every album they've put out. I love this documentary. Done by the guys over at Banger, which if you watch my shit, you may know Banger TV. They started with Metal, A Headbanger's Journey, one that didn't make my top 10, but they also did this documentary, and quality shit from those guys all the time, and quality shit from Rush all the time. That one is available on Netflix and Amazon to rent. So yeah, that one's a fucking great one. All right, now here's another one that I use the term documentary loosely when I'm talking about it. The 1994, I guess it would be more of a music home video, Nirvana, Live Tonight, Sold Out. This is a kind of interesting hodgepodge of clips and things from around the time that Nirvana was really blowing up that Kurt Cobain started to work on before he died, but he didn't finish. And it's interesting because just like the Fugazi one, there's not necessarily any narrative to it. It's just stuff kind of jumbled together. Sometimes things are just kind of weirdly edited and there's weird noises, but there's plenty of great performances, memorable shit from TV performances. There's even a performance from Dallas, Texas, really close to where I live, where Kurt Cobain gets punched in the back of the head by a security guard. It's great. It's just such an amazing, well done collection of clips of one of the greatest bands ever. And it really does give you the idea that that they were in the middle of this huge tornado of fame that was unexpected, and the video really does give you that feeling of like vertigo, or like, holy shit, like this shit seems like it's all chaotic, and clearly it was. Anyway, yeah, Nirvana Live Tonight, Sold Out. I found a version of it streaming on Dailymotion. Who the fuck remembers Dailymotion? Apparently it's still out there, and you can find this there. Other than that, you'll have to dig, but I highly recommend it. Now let's move back over to the dudes from Banger for the 2009 documentary Flight 666, the Iron Maiden documentary. No, don't look up Flight 666 because I think it'll actually bring you to a horror movie that I don't think is very good. So make sure you type in Iron Maiden. But it's a documentary all about the band's Somewhere Back in Time tour that was in 2008. This is the tour where they flew in Ed Force One and Bruce Dickinson was the pilot. And it takes them to all these different countries doing these shows. And it's so entertaining. If you love Iron Maiden, you're already going to love this documentary. You've probably already seen it anyway, but it's highly entertaining, and it really gives you a great idea of how fucking massive Iron Maiden is around the world and how loved they are by so many people from so many different cultures and so many different languages. Doesn't fucking matter. Iron Maiden is the language of the world. Anyway, where is this one available? I think someone posted it on YouTube. Other than that, I'm not sure. Dig around and try to find it. This will probably be one of those ones you got to order on DVD from Amazon or something. Or if you happen to own it, go watch it again because it's fucking great. All right, if you have watched my channel and listened to my podcasts enough, you'll know that this band was going to be in here. And this is my favorite music documentary ever made, the 1992 documentary, A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica. This is another long one. It's literally 2 separate documentaries. It's an hour-and-a-half documentary all about the making of the Black Album, which is like totally entertaining and takes you in to the studio with those guys, and you really get to know them pretty well. That's probably why they became such a big, important band for me, because they were the first band that I loved their music, and then through this documentary, I kind of got to know them and also wanted to just hang with them. And then also, you have another, like, 2.5-hour documentary, I think, which is all about the tour they did right after they released the Black Album. And that's also interesting as fuck because you see the ins and outs of the cool tour they did with like the snake pit and the stage and the round and all of that shit. Like it's so entertaining. I've probably seen it hundreds of times. It is my go-to movie, just when I want something comforting to watch. I know all of you have those. Put that down below. What's your comfort movie or whatever to watch? Anyway, so that one, I know it's available on iTunes for rent or purchase. I'm not sure where else. That one's probably available out there on Amazon to buy. But if you're a Metallica fan, I don't know, maybe you don't like the Black Album. Doesn't fucking matter. It is very entertaining. A year and a half in the life of Metallica. So that's it. Hopefully there's something in there that you haven't seen and you can go find and maybe you'll enjoy and add to the entertainment while we're all stuck in our homes waiting for this fucking virus thing to work its way out, or they find a vaccine. Who knows what's going to happen. If you're watching this in the future, once again, how'd it go? We still here? Anyway, also, so here's the part. Now, I know I left out a lot of really good documentaries, some of which I've seen, some of which I have not. So here's where you come in. Comments down below. What are your favorite rock docs of all time? What should I check out? Please, fill up the comments. I got time. We all got time. So, yes, everybody stay safe. Everybody wash your hands. Hopefully we come out of this like a stronger world. Let's all fucking come together and overcome everything because we overcame a virus that took over the fucking world. Anyway, peace to everyone, and I will see you all again very soon.